your lineage somewhere.
Yeah, a little bit down the line.
It always trips me. I just watched this documentary about dogs, and it just tripped me out because basically it talks about how every one of these dogs comes from wolves somewhere.
Yeah.
What a trip.
I know,
Because
it's wild
even
to think about.
Pomeranians are wolves somewhere, which is fucking crazy.
That seems crazy to me.
It does seem crazy, right? But it's a fact. What's her name?
This is Sakara.
Gotcha. And what's his name?
That's Riot.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
He's so dope.
What's up?
Yeah,
Hi,
good
bro.
boy.
Can you say hi?
Oh, now you did it.
Here, come here. You want to get here? Talk. Say
You
hi.
want to come up, bud?
Say hi. Say hi.
Come on.
This is like they're gonna think it's a pit bull show.
Everywhere I go, it's a pit bull show.
Oh yeah. Episode of Pits and Parolees.
Sakara,
Yeah.
can you sit? Hey,
Sigit.
sit.
They don't speak Romanian.
Hey, sit. Thank you, good girl.
So where are you from? Say it again. You're from Calaveras County.
Originally from Calaveras County, California.
How'd you get to Reno?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah,
I was living in South Lake Tahoe for
you're so close.
like 15 years. Yeah, I moved there to ski.
Okay.
And do all the mountain things, and then I got tired of California. Tahoe's changed a lot over the years, and so I moved. I sold my place up there, moved down to Carson. That's actually where I live now. And then, there's not much going on in Carson, so I come to Reno for just about everything. And
Yeah, you work out and
yeah, I come to the gyms down here. I go to Diamond, and I work. My work is down here. Some of my work is down here, so
yeah.
that's kind of what led me to the Reno area. But
And you're a trainer as well, aren't you?
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I used to train in person. I don't really do that anymore, but everything I do is primarily online now.
Yeah,
so,
that's really
little
cool.
Coaching.
So, were you always working out, even when you were younger?
No, not really. No. Kind of a newer thing, I guess. Yeah. Probably within the last 10 years, I kind of discovered fitness. I used to party. That was my thing. I was partying for like a good chunk of my life, and then
That's kind of all you do up in South Lake. That's kind of what I was telling you before we got on. Is like I know a lot of people in South Lake, and if you live there full time, there's not a lot else to do up there. You run out of shit, which is so funny because it's so beautiful.
A lot of outdoorsy stuff to do, but
there's so much drugs, dude.
Yeah, there really is. There really is. And especially in Calaveras County too, where I grew up. That's like there's a lot of drugs up there too. There's not much to do other than go to the river, and everyone who's doing that is just getting drunk and partying and going to the river, basically.
Yeah. So did you stop doing everything?
I wouldn't say I stopped doing everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I was just like fed up with my lifestyle. I didn't feel good. I didn't look good. I didn't have any really quality people around me or any momentum to speak of. I wasn't doing anything good with my life or helping anybody at the time. And then I kind of just had enough of my own bullshit. And so I started doing little workouts in my spare bedroom.
Yeah.
Like jumping around doing like Billy Blanks kind of
P90X?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically like burpees and jump lunges and whatever I could do.
Yeah.
And I started running, and I learned how to track my macros. So I kind of got my food under control and saw some awesome results, lost a ton of weight. And then I eventually found bodybuilding through that, weightlifting through that. And the rest is kind of history. I fell in love with it.
Yeah. So to me, the biggest disconnect is the first day you start to work out and make it a fucking pattern, right? Like make it a behavior. How long did it take you to kind of make it a behavior and be consistent in your life?
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
I think it was a slow burn, really. At first it sucks. Like it doesn't feel good. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stay consistent and keep showing up every day because you don't really see results in the beginning.
Yeah.
So you really have to have like a strong reason for why you want to do that. Coming off of just kind of doing whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, eating whatever, drinking every weekend, going out, eating out. It took a long time to kind of reform those habits.
Yeah.
I'd say probably took me a couple years to really solidify that was like a part of my lifestyle.
Yep.
I was still like, in the beginning, I was still drinking every weekend and undoing all the progress that I made each week.
It's such a crazy thing to think about. It's like you could work out for fucking 2 hours, but if you fucking eat a plate of nachos, like it doesn't count. You know, that sucks.
Yeah,
That is the
absolutely.
worst.
And I was like kind of fooling myself thinking I could go out and like drink a bottle of tequila and do whatever I did on the weekends and then pull it all in the week and still see results. And
that's real.
Like when I look back at it, I'm like, I was kind of spinning my wheels, but it did kind of like eventually I got some traction in it and I realized that it was like I really felt better altogether. And I don't know, it's a weird thing that happens, or at least it was for me. It started to kind of push me further and further away from the people that I was around, and I lost a lot of friends throughout that and kind of became more of a loner, but it was also more fulfilling in a sense. So I just wanted more of that. I wanted more of like the feeling that you get when you actually do something that's good for you versus like a cheap thrill. It lasts longer. And so you kind of like, you transition away from those like cheap hits and you lean more into the thing that's bringing you that longer lasting happiness and that feeling.
And I bet it brings you a lot of happiness to see it kind of click in other people too. That's probably a cool feeling.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's originally how I started like the whole social media thing was I just wanted to share with people what I was doing.
Yeah.
So that if they wanted to try to do things too, they could and see what I was doing. I had like a little blog at the time. I don't know if you remember like WordPress.
Yeah. I'm a writer. Yeah.
So I had like a little WordPress blog,
people are still doing that, right?
It's got to be still a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't like logged into it for a while, but I was sharing recipes and workouts and stuff. And like I said, it kept gaining traction and gaining momentum, and it was like a snowball effect. I got my first set of weights, and then that felt super good, and I started to see the changes in my body, and people started reaching out to me, and it's like I was just having this conversation with somebody yesterday. Like, I'm just living my life. Like, I'm just doing my thing. But
good follows
through that, like, it's crazy how many people are watching and take something from that and are inspired that you don't even realize every single day.
Well, that's what I wanted to tell you is I know some people that were inspired by you.
Really?
Yeah, my friend, you might know her, you might not, but her name is Michelle. She's a barber.
Okay.
In Placerville.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in a motorcycle club. Her dude is in the same club as me, but in Sacramento. And so, you know, I don't know if you know that, but like, it's crazy how the world connects. But she has, in the last like 3 months, gone fucking balls to the walls just 5 days a week, and now thinking about changing what her purpose of life is. And I love her with my whole heart. And I know that you've definitely had an impact in one way or the other on my friend.
That's like super humbling to hear those kinds of stories, but it's also, it's what makes the human experience so cool, I think, is that you can connect with people, you know, in those ways just by living the way that you live.
Yeah.
I'm sure you experienced that with the motorcycle club too. And from what you've told me, you probably impact a lot of people's lives doing that.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's the sobriety for us. I'm sober, and it's like John was a guy I worked with, and I think that the steps we have 12 steps, right? And so the first 11 are all about you, and the last one's about giving it back.
Nice.
And that's the most important one. That's the only way you actually lose the obsession and fucking get better is if you help another person.
Yeah.
And then you got to keep doing that. And if you don't, and it's also like, damn, how it's so hard to help somebody else and have anything to complain about in your life that day. Like being of service or being selfless. I know it sounds so pretentious saying it out loud, but it's true. It's like you just don't feel that way anymore.
I think the only people that find that pretentious are the ones that aren't actually doing that in their own lives.
Yeah.
I think that's part of what, like, if you want to get really deep, I think that's part of why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is to help other people.
I think so too.
And share our stories.
Yeah. One of the best lessons I've ever heard was it's not your job to be loved or understood. It's your job to love and understand. It was one of the best things that somebody taught me. And it was a dude in prison that told me that. He just got out of prison to tell me that. And I think that was a profound thing that dude said. And I understand. And of course, if everybody loved and understood everybody else, then of course everybody would be loved and understood.
They would be loved and understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, that's definitely the MO here. So how'd you get with Diamond? Was it just, were you following that when they were first going?
Yeah, I can't even remember how I came across it. I think I must have seen it on social media or something. And
They're a sponsor of ours,
are they?
of the show, yeah.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
The super amazing people. From the second I walked in the door of that place, I could feel the energy, obviously, of the owners and the environment that they've created there.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to be my new home base. There are other gyms around the area, obviously, but...
Is there gyms like that in Carson?
No.
No, not like that. No.
I actually go down to Vegas like every month for a week just to go to gyms.
Badass.
Just to like get be around new environments and be in the energy. Especially like the bodybuilding community is pretty small and there's not a whole lot of it up here.
Yeah.
But that place in particular, it stood out to me just because of the aesthetic to begin with. But like I said, what kept me there was the energy for sure.
Yeah. That dog's so cool, dude. I got 3 kids, so I just can't have no more dogs, you know? That's like dogs for us, you know?
Yeah.
When my daughter gets older, I'm definitely getting it.
Do you guys have a dog right now?
Nope.
No,
I have 3 kids, you know? And it's just, I feel bad because I am not at the house a lot. And so to leave my wife with yet another thing to take care of, I'd feel bad. So
bullies are great family dogs. They really are.
Damn.
They love kids. They're super nurturing.
Have you seen any of the videos lately of these pit bulls saving the kids from sticking?
You've been seeing those too?
That shit's crazy, yeah.
I saw a couple the other day. One was like this baby got electrocuted.
Yeah, and you just ripped it back?
I was like, holy fuck.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That was a cool fucking...
And then I saw, and once you like something on Instagram, it starts like, oh, you like this? Let's show you 14,000 other videos like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at it. It's like, it's super cool to see that. Yeah. That's the whole reason. So Sakara is a service animal. I trained her as a service animal. So she goes like everywhere with me. She flies. She's been on more airplanes than probably most people, but that's the whole reason why, because I felt so connected with her and she really has, been there for me in ways that are kind of indescribable. So, animals are special like that.
They are. Did you do that show down in Vegas this last week?
No. Yeah. The Olympia?
I think so.
I wish.
Yeah.
That's like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding.
Oh, is it? Okay.
To go to the Olympia is like the most prestigious honor that you could have. I mean, it's a huge achievement in the bodybuilding world. So like, there's the amateur leagues, like the Mother Load that's coming up this weekend. That's basically like a regional amateur level show. Yeah. Once you kind of build your way through that, you win a couple amateur local shows, you go to national shows. Once you win national shows, you go to the pro leagues.
Right.
Then you win pro shows, you go to the Olympia. So it's like the top of the top. But I was down there. I took both of these guys down there and stayed for a week.
This is Jacob, the host of the 4th Street Live podcast, and my new book, The Rail Runner, inspired by my life on the railroad and being a railroad contractor, is now for sale on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Please go check out my new story if you're looking to escape reality for a few hours. It's a great read. Support a local Reno author. Thanks so much. I don't know about you guys, but if you have ever been down on your motorcycle, gotten hit, somebody had no insurance, anything like that, you feel like there's nobody around to help you out, but Law Tigers Motorcycle Attorneys is the way to go. You need to get these guys, just save them in your phone if you have to. Law Tigers is there to help bikers. It's bikers for bikers. These guys ride motorcycles and they will take care of you. They're personally handling claims and will be the biggest advocate for anybody on 2 wheels. Check out Law Tigers Motorcycle Attorneys and a sponsor of 4th Street Live. Thanks so much. There's only one place in town I take my Harley-Davidson motorcycle to, and that is Slabs Sides Motorcycle Shop on Glendale Avenue in Reno. If you're looking for a tune-up, customizing your motorcycle, bars, exhaust, they've got everything you need and one of the best hourly rates in town for any of your motorcycle repair stuff. Go check out Slab Sides Motorcycle Shop. Yeah.
We had a great time.
Yeah. So
that was awesome.
In a show like that, it's all physique stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's way cool. How do the classes work with that? Because I'm curious.
So there are different classes for both men and women.
Right.
It's hard to say they're like entry level, but there's different classifications for the amount of muscularity and the shape. and the conditioning, which is essentially how little body fat you have and like how much detail you show.
Yeah.
And then each division has different posing to showcase those shapes as well. So with the women, there's fit model, bikini, wellness, figure, women's physique,
And that's like the yoked
bodybuilding.
one, right?
Women's bodybuilders are like the most muscular for sure. And then there's fitness. The fitness category is like a combination of, those are the girls that like get up there and do splits and flips and stuff like that. So they have like a whole routine that they do, and they have to be jacked and lean at the same time. And then for the men, it's men's physique, classic physique. And then there's a couple different categories of bodybuilding. There's like a specific bodybuilding division where everybody has to weigh 212 pounds. So it kind of keeps it level. And then there's open bodybuilding. And that's like the big mass monsters that you see on stage. That's what everyone goes for. To see those guys.
Just see the fucking huge
Just
ones.
the crazy jacked guys. Yeah.
That shit's nuts. And it's crazy because also they have to, just like fighters, they gotta get water out, the whole deal, right?
Yeah, there's a whole science
really push
to
into
it.
their limits like for a couple of days.
Yeah, not even for a couple of days. Like most
they
people
live like
diet.
that sometimes, huh? Yeah.
Well, in terms of like being an athlete in bodybuilding, you're never really off. You're either in a season of improvement, trying to add tissue, or you're in your prep, which is what everyone thinks of as like the diet, where everyone's leaning out. Most of the time, like everyone's a little bit different, but generally a prep is like 20 weeks, 16 weeks, something like that. So essentially you're dieting for that long and you're getting yourself to a level of body fat, especially the bodybuilders on stage.
Yeah.
They get so shredded. I mean, there's a point in time where they're suffering, like you said. It's like lots of cardio, very little food, pulling water, manipulating electrolytes and things like that to get on stage and get this like super crazy look.
Yeah. No, they look fucking nuts. It's great. It's like Olympia. It's like Mr. Olympia. You know, it's like I'm looking at gladiators. It's tight. So, is there a person or people, you don't have to say their name if you don't want to, but that you've worked with that has been like the most impactful in your life? Seeing the switch go on and then like maybe the switch went on with you. And maybe we'll start with that. Is there somebody that influenced you first to kind of change it around when you were getting going?
That's a really good question. I mean, there's definitely a couple people that come to mind that I was watching at the time that were super influential to me. One of them, her name's Hattie Boydell. She's Australian, and she's into powerlifting, and she does another federation, which is similar to the IFBB. It's called the WBFF. It's a little bit different, but anyways, she came from a background of a really severe eating disorder.
Sorry, hold on one second.
That's all right. Give it a sec.
This is Biker Block.
I love it.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is these bikes don't even pick it up. But go ahead. Yeah.
That's nuts to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hattie Boydell, she influenced me a lot, mainly because she came from a kind of a similar background as I did. She suffered from an eating disorder for a really long time. She was anorexic essentially. And then she kind of turned that around and through her story, I mean, she's jacked, like she's got a beautiful physique, and she was one of the really influential people that I watched. Another girl called, her name's Emily Hayden, and she was just a bikini competitor, bikini pro back in the day. Those two women definitely influenced me a lot, just specifically. I think the biggest influence, I would say, was kind of myself. And that's going to sound really weird, probably.
That makes sense.
But like, man, I was just like a piece of shit. I really was.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that anymore. I wanted to be something more. And so
it wasn't only your body that changed, it was your mind as well.
100%.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It started as that. It definitely started as that. But, you know, and people, you know, obviously looking at these other physiques, these otherworldly physiques, like you said, it's like, so like, whoa. Yeah. I want to do that. That would be so dope. And then it quickly changed. And you realize that throughout that journey, trying to change your body, you know, your mindset, your whole world flips upside down. You turn into somebody else. It teaches you so much about yourself and what you're capable of. I'm sure that your journey, like in sobriety, has been similar to that.
Well, so here's what's crazy is 2 years ago, I was 270 pounds, dude. I'm 30 years old. I know, it's fucking crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I know,
Holy
but I'm
shit.
6'1", so it doesn't. I don't know. It didn't look as much like it, but then I'll look at pictures. I was like, damn, I was like every bit of 270.
That's
You know what I'm
nuts.
saying?
Is that
And
just a reflection of your lifestyle at the time,
for
or?
sure, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of people gain weight when they start sobriety because there's a there's a science behind it. I can't tell you and I can't articulate it. But
It's like the hand to mouth fixation,
that
or
and sugar. There's
yeah.
something about the sugar. Depends on what you drank too, but a lot of us drank hard alcohol. You know what I'm saying? And I drank Mad Dog 2020. It's my favorite.
Damn.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, it's
I've
like
had a few experiences
2 or
with
3 a
some
day. It's just like it was cheap. It was $4.99. You know, so that's my favorite. And
It's rough.
nice fucking whatever else I could get my hands on.
How much sugar is in a Mad Dog?
Fuck, probably a lot.
Like when I think back, that shit's like mad sweet.
Yeah, it was mad sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't need a chaser, but it was also like, and not like the blue raspberry one. Fuck, dude.
Just walk around with like blue lips all the time.
Dude. It was so bad.
No
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah, I don't miss it, but I love telling that story.
People these
But-
days probably don't even know what Mad Dog is.
No, it's
like,
still
you kind
there.
of dated yourself.
Some people know, but like the kids now got fucking Sunny D drinks.
Spoiled
40 grams of sugar.
in
Is
a
that a
Mad
lot?
Dog.
Is that a lot?
It's pretty bad.
How much is in this?
It's like 2 sodas,
Yeah.
probably.
Gotcha. Damn, yeah.
An
So the-
ounce has 40 grams of sugar. Oh, okay. I was like, dude, holy shit.
Ounce of sugar, dog. A
Yeah,
day,
I
bro.
know.
Yeah. But see, what's funny is I walked a lot because I was a crackhead. So I was like always on the move. And I always,
Imagine the implications of like
Yeah.
your liver and like your insulin resistance of what you're doing.
yeah. Well, I got sober at 21.
Good
So
for you.
it's only as good as running out of a burning bill.
Can I ask you, like,
Yeah.
what was your turning point? What happened with that? Because crack will
one's
get
ever
a hold
asked
of
me
you,
that.
man. Like,
Yeah, so jail, institutions, psychiatric holds, none of those things had an impact on my life. And I'd been through it all. And every one of them was a result of me having a disease. And the way it works for alcoholics is anybody that's, in my opinion, if you ask me what an alcoholic or an addict is, it has nothing to do with how much you drink or use, believe it or not. It has everything to do with a deficiency in your spirituality.
yeah.
So if you have a spiritual deficiency of any kind and any level, it will manifest in addiction of some form. Some people use gambling or sex or whatever else. But for me, it was fucking all of the above. It was anything I could get my hands on that would get me out of me, you know, because
Yeah.
spiritual deficiency means you're not comfortable in your own skin. You just don't feel great, you know? So, when I was 21, I was on parole and, I fell asleep at the wheel of my Toyota Corolla and, I was hosting the booty shaking contest at the Brew Brothers on Tuesday nights. Swear. Yeah. And, like who fucking hangs out at Brew Brothers on Tuesday nights? You're probably already got a problem. And, one night I fell asleep at the wheel of that car and, I was on paper and I can talk about it now, but I was on paper and I walked home and, when I walked home that night, I looked back and my car was engulfed in flames and I'd gone about 90 miles an hour by the time I finally hit something and because I was unconscious, so my foot was just on the gas, right? And I woke up and I remember thinking like, oh fuck, I need to get out of here because I was on paper and I didn't want to violate. So I fucking pulled myself out upside down and pulled my key out of the ignition because that's where my house key was. And it was on fire. And I started walking and got home, got to basically the cops came to my mom's house and they said, we're looking for your son's body. And that was what they told my mom. Yeah. And so my mom fucking did what any mom does in that situation. She went to my house and I was just asleep in my bed. But she woke me up. And if she didn't come to that house that night to wake me up, I would have died of a punctured lung. And when I finally got to the hospital, I had a broken leg. My L2 and my L3 vertebrae had fused from that car accident. I had a concussion and a hernia and a cracked sternum, 3 broken ribs, and the punctured lung was the worst of all of it. And so that accident was on April 26th of 2014, and April 27th of 2014 was my sobriety day, the next day. Yeah. So that was the day. So basically all it was like, if I don't stop drinking, I will die. And if I don't stop doing this, and I suffer from a spiritual deficiency, and I sat around in the hospital room with a bunch of sober people who I asked them if they thought I had a problem. And they were like, yeah, dog, you got a fucking problem. And they said something that was pretty profound. They said, that's between you and God, you know, or whatever you believe in, you know, whatever higher power you can fathom, that's between you and that thing. And, but like the chances are astronomical that you probably got a problem. And so that was the last time. And that was a little over 11 years ago. And I was 21, and, you know, I just, had to basically make a decision, because I'm sure I could have justified more drug and alcohol abuse.
Of course.
You know, I'm sure I could have, because I was 21.
There's always a reason.
Yeah, how many 21-year-olds have crashed cars and that bad even, you know? I'm sure there's been lots that have not thought.
It's part of being young, man.
It is, yeah. So I was just, to me, it was just like, I won't survive another accident like that, you know, or another situation like that. So it's just better that I cut that out of my life, and I did. And then I found the rooms that we talk about and fixed the deficiency in me. And all that is treating that deficiency, because there's no cure for alcoholism or addiction, in my opinion. It's just treating it with maintaining your spiritual condition. So today I just try to, like we were talking about, help another person, which I don't do all the time, and try and live in anybody else's will but mine, because my will only get me in death, institutions, jail. So I got to think about think of the disease like an allergy. So that's
a lot of people never have that realization that like, this is probably a me thing.
Right. And that's kind of why we do this.
Yeah.
Is this like, if you're not happy with how you look or how you feel, there's a reason you came on today.
It's your fault.
It is your fault.
Yeah.
And there's a reason, because there's somebody that might hear you and go, look, I just got to start lifting weights and eating better. It's so easy, you know? And, you know, if there's somebody that's struggling with alcohol, they'll never know. And so all we're doing here is planting seeds, in my opinion, is what the show is based on, is planting seeds to a different level of existence that's tangible. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's
and
what I'm
that's so
hoping for.
real. That's so real. I think like that just touched a nerve, because what I've always tried to promote, if anything, on my page, through my living, through what I represent, it's that you do need to take accountability for yourself. Like whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't matter if you were in a dead-end relationship, somebody treated you poorly.
Yeah.
You lost your job, you lost everything, somebody close to you passed away, like whatever, your house burned down. You have a responsibility for your own life. And although there are a lot of tragic things that happen to people in their childhood or in their lives, that's a part of the human experience. And you can't change that, but you can definitely take accountability for how you move forward in life. And so many people forget that, or they lean on whatever the crutch is, the drinking, the drugs. That's what I did for most of my life. I wasted so much of my life just winging it, flying by the seat of my pants every day. No idea that I could actually fix it, that I could change it. Self-medicating. Like you said, it comes in many forms too. Many, many forms.
Yeah.
But when you take all that away and you're forced to sit with it, the only thing left at the end of the day is you and how you're going to move forward from that.
Yeah.
and how you choose to live your life. And you can choose at any moment what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Any moment you can change who you are.
So what are you saying that if you maintain a victim mentality, you're not going to have the results you want? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Nobody's going to want to be around you either.
And
like,
and I've met people who are 100% victims in their lives, who choose not to be victims and choose to do something about it. And those people are the most profound influence that I've ever had on my life, you know?
It's actually super liberating when you realize that the world doesn't owe you anything. And again, you are the writer. You get to steer the ship. You get to pick. Right. And it's very easy. It's way easier to find a reason why you want to be a piece of shit, for lack of a better term, why you want to turn to these things. It's always going to be easier to turn to that victim mentality. It's like it's so toxic. It exists in so many places. And once you lift that veil and you realize, like, again, you take that accountability, it's so liberating. It makes everything like so much easier. You're just like, you know what? No, I'm giving this thing or that thing or this experience or that person all of my power by doing that. When you do that, you're breathing life into something that is keeping you sick. Yeah. At that point, it does feel very liberating. It is kind of like, it makes it seem very simple. And at the end of the day, it is pretty simple. It is kind of simple.
Yeah. That's what's funny, but we complicate everything. Yeah. No, I fucking, wow. I agree. It's crazy how much, of a parallel that draws to sobriety too, because we have a whole part of the steps that we work, and it's about accountability, and it's the one that is so profound that it truly will determine if you lose the obsession or not, you know. And it's, you go through, you make a list of every resentment you've ever had from the time you're born to present. And you go through each one and you write them down and you write how it affects you. This is like years of therapy written in a book, and it's like free. It's crazy. And anybody could do this for anything, but you know, you write it down and then you write what it affects. And then when you're all done with that, you write a fourth column, and the fourth column is what your part is. Mm-hmm. And alcoholics generally are responsible for like 99% of the resentments that they've ever had, you know? And it's like, you learn accountability that day. You learn that you're not a victim, that you have a part too, you know? Yeah. And, but I agree with you. It's like, even if you are, you don't have to live that way. And that's the part of that. If you use the victim mentality for sympathy or for sitting idle and just kind of watching your life pass away, then you have a responsibility too, to your own resentment. And, you know, we can choose what we do with the rest of our lives, you know? So no, it's crazy how what you said kind of draws, because I think the first battle of being healthy is fixing your brain.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and
it's a huge piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I mean, the word, like, if you want to liken it to working out or exercising, like, that's the easy part, in my opinion, or prepping for a show.
Right.
The hardest part is harnessing what's going on upstairs and keeping that in control. Real. Sure, it is with sobriety too. You know, I know it was for me for a long time. Yeah. That was, it's like, you know, you practice something so many times. You practice having a drink, going out and having a drink, for whatever. Right. Good times, bad times, bored times, whatever. It was just the times. Yeah. It takes a while to undo that, to undo those behaviors. It's easy to move to that. So that is 100% a mental thing. That's real. You don't need, like, your physical body can withstand quite a lot. And that's generally speaking the easier part of the puzzle. I think the world would be such a better place if most people could get control of their thoughts and harness those and turn it around into something better and stop letting them go to that place. Yeah. That's very real. Yeah. That's hard. It's cool that you mentioned writing all that stuff down. One thing that really helped me in my journey was writing things down. And I still do it to this day.
Like what kind of things?
Everything.
Cool.
All the things. Like, for example, when I was really young, I had some traumas that happened, and it led me to develop an eating disorder when I was 6 years old. So from the time I was 6 years old until my late 20s, I had an eating disorder.
Wow.
And on top of that, the drug and alcohol abuse, you know, the toxic relationships, not taking care of myself, not valuing myself, the list goes on. All of these things were just symptomatic of me not being able to, I had displaced emotions.
Understood.
My thoughts were all over the place. I didn't know how to control that. I didn't have any grasp over what was, I didn't even know why I was doing the things that I was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can relate to that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I woke up every day and said, man, because this happened to me, like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go do this just because it feels better.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. It was just, you know, that's all I knew. That's how I was dealing with it. And there was a point in my life where obviously I saw some therapists, and I hate to say it, but like that shit wasn't working for me.
Yeah. And
it really wasn't helping. And it wasn't really until again, the accountability piece, I really had to have an honest conversation with myself. Like, okay, what is your role in this? Because like the common denominator of all these shitty things that are happening to you is you. Like, you are at the centerpiece of this. Wow. So I started journaling, and when I started journaling, I didn't have like a method to it. I just started writing things down. Everything that was on my brain, I started writing it down. And throughout the process of that, I was able to start like reading through these things and just seeing these patterns. Patterns develop, triggers develop. And I've always been like really interested in human psychology and behavior.
Yeah. So
through that, I started kind of analyzing those pieces and realizing that all these things were just symptomatic. And it was just that I had practiced poor coping mechanisms for so long.
Yeah.
And I was like,
was that learned? Was it taught?
That's a really good question. Yeah. I think it was just, it was a matter of my circumstances and my environment.
Yeah.
And kind of what I fell into at the time.
Nature.
And it felt good.
Nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Thing. Got it.
When for me, when I first started doing drugs and drinking, it was like, it felt really good.
Right.
Because, you know, obviously the euphoria and the feeling that you get from being high or drunk at the time. And then for me, it was like the social environment and, you know, everything that came along with that. Was selling drugs for a long time. So along with that, there's tons of people around you all the time. So it can give you this false sense of like, oh, I have all these friends and you know, everyone loves me. And it's not that at all. But it took a long time to really start to unravel all that and realize that it was all fake. Like none of it was real and none of it was helping. Yeah. And I was just postponing the inevitable and burying these things down, not actually facing them. And when I finally realized like this was a reason why I was doing all these things, that's when the real work begins. Like that's when it actually gets really tough because you have to face yourself. Like you're holding a mirror up to yourself going, oh, I did that.
That's so real. That was the hardest part about getting sober at 21 is realizing I didn't have any friends, real friends.
Yeah.
It was because the only friends I had were the ones that I had because I got fucked up with. Fuck, that was so hard because it was like 21 and all the other 20, like it's unique getting sober younger than older because getting sober younger, you just think that's what you do. And so it's so unique to somebody who's older because it might not necessarily be the case, but when you're 21, everybody's doing the same shit, you know? And so when I got there, I had nobody, had nothing, you know? And it was, you hit it right on the head. You realize who your friends are. You realize that, and I learned the hardest lesson ever, which is the people that are your friends genuinely are the ones that don't want anything from you in return. They'll take you fat, skinny, fucking whatever. And that's real. So you mentioned you had an eating disorder. Was that not eating?
So I was bulimic. The first time I made myself throw up, I was 6 years old, and I remember it really vividly.
Was it something that you had done on your own? Was it influenced by anything on the outside? You
I've
know?
thought about this question a lot, and I can't remember where I might have learned that or
Yeah.
picked that up. It
Yeah.
might have been something that I saw on TV.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a 6-year-old would have the wherewithal to know
Totally.
how to do that. I just know that I started doing that, and I started using food as an emotional coping mechanism at a really young age. And that worsened, and it progressed, you know, into my teens. It got really, really bad. It was like, and then there's like so much shame around that too, because I never told anyone like my whole life about that until I was much, much older and shared that. But I think it's something that definitely needs to be talked about, because I know a lot of women personally who have been through that and struggled with that.
Yeah.
And it's really left a mark on them. Obviously, it takes a toll on your health. And it led me to other vices as well. But yeah, it had a grip on me for a long, long time. And I understand it now. I understand what that was.
Yeah.
But I didn't at the time. I felt super out of control, like with drugs too.
Yeah.
Just like, it's just something that I knew was a temporary relief. And I didn't even realize that I was using the food in the ways that I was also using drugs and alcohol. It was just, you know, to numb whatever things I didn't want to actually feel or face.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this, because this is important, because I have a daughter, and I think that bulimia is unique to women, not always, but it is more generally.
Absolutely.
And I think about that, and it's like, I want my daughter to be, she's fat, and I want her to be fat forever because she's 3. She's so fucking cute. But it's like, even my wife will think that she's gained weight. And I was like, you haven't. What is you got a girl who suffered from that same thing in front of you. What would you say to her now? Because there are some that are listening, and they're going to listen, because I know there's some that suffer from that, you know?
Really similarly to what you said about having a spiritual deficiency.
Yeah. You're not fat, first of all, right?
Well,
yeah.
And even if you are, like, that's not the answer.
Right. Yeah.
It's not the answer at all. You need to eat food, and you need to take care of your body, because you only get one of them, and life is really short.
Yeah.
I would say that you need to talk to somebody that understands where you've been. And if you want to talk to me, you should reach out to me, because I have a lot of experience with it.
Right. And probably some very healthy dieting techniques.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I eat great now. I love eating.
Yeah.
And getting strong and like putting that to good use. But really the reason why people do stuff like that is because there's something going on inside of them that they're avoiding, that they don't want to face. And it's probably really going to suck to come to that realization, but you're never going to fix it. It's either going to stay or get worse or transfer to something more detrimental.
Yeah.
You could die.
Right. And if you tell one person what that is, it will lose its power. That's what
100%. That's the other thing is, like, just talking about it, it loses so much of its power, and getting it out there and voicing it. There's so many people out there that can help with that, and just telling your story and just talking about it is huge. Like I said, writing things down. Even if you're ashamed to talk to somebody about it, start writing things down and like really honestly write things down.
Yeah.
Like, why did I do this today? What were the feelings that I was feeling? What caused that, you know, and get to the root of it. If it's something that happened when you were a kid or something that you saw by example, it's okay. Like, we all have that stuff. Yeah. Everybody has that stuff. Yeah. It doesn't define you. What defines you is who you decide to be going forward from that. You don't have to stay that way. Yeah. You don't. But you do have to take accountability for it. Because odds are it's something that you're not facing inside yourself. Yeah.
And that's not to say that you might not be a victim in whatever that might be, but it is. But if you hold on to it.
Totally.
Yeah. That's real. Yeah. For me, it was like, I thought about that because I was bigger. I didn't look crazy big, but I didn't feel great about myself. And I finally started looking into what it is. And it turns out my body doesn't process bread and pasta well. and
Do
sugar.
you have like actual celiac disease?
No,
or?
colitis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's what it is. And it's either get on a bunch of fucking medication and continue to eat like a fucking nut job and or change your diet. So I just cut out bread and sugar and most carbs and fasted intermittently for the last 2 years. And that's it.
Yeah.
And it changed everything.
I bet you feel so much better.
I do. And every symptom of colitis is gone.
That's awesome.
So it's like, do I have colitis or do I have, a food problem? Which is something else I'd really like to get into talking to you about is, we're not political by any means, but in the news, RFK talks a lot about changing the diet, changing the food in America. You can totally disagree with RFK's policies and politics and whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that can not be a partisan thing. That has to just be.
No, that's very real.
That's fucking poison in the food, dude.
Whatever you put in your body is going to become you.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
No, I actually like a lot of the things that he talks about, and I think he brings a lot of things to light that people want to shove under the rug or ignore.
There's poison in the food.
Fuck
the
dude. Whole system, the medical industry, it is so backwards. Yeah. It's very twisted. Yeah. It is. I work with a lot of people now. So I used to coach for about 4 years straight, and then I stopped for a while. I took some time off. I stepped back, and then I stepped back into the coaching space after having educated myself, worked with some mentors. But my passion now is specifically around people's diets, their gut health, their hormone health, these things. And a lot of these are caused by the way that people are eating, the way that people are living. Yeah. And so I'm definitely really passionate about that.
Right.
And I agree with you. I think the food it's absolute garbage. It really is. But a simple fix for it is really just to choose more whole foods, more things that are grown locally,
right?
With good growing practices.
And then you mentioned the macros, which I know is really the pivotal thing there, right?
It's going to depend on
how much you work out. Is that
It depends on your goals too.
Right.
So like your macros basically are going to dictate, the amount of energy that you're taking in each day.
Okay.
That's going to be like the total amount of protein, amount of carbohydrate, amount of fat that makes up your caloric intake throughout the day. And that can be adjusted based off of your goals. Right. Not everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but everybody has different needs. Like you said, it's based off of your lifestyle, how much energy are you expending each day, your genetics, your exercise history, all that kind of stuff goes into that. So it's kind of a moving target also. Right. And it's really cool. Like within bodybuilding, those things are adjustable depending on where you want to be on the spectrum or what your goal is. And then within your macros, you have your micros. Your micros are like your minerals, your vitamins, all of the things that actually make you healthy and make you optimized at the end of the day. And the micros is the discussion where we come into all these health issues, colitis, things like that. Yeah. That's where you can really get specific with it and learn what your body really needs and where you're deficient. Almost everybody walking around has some kind of dysfunction going on in their body, whether it's from their gut, their liver, their hormones, and almost all of those are a direct relationship to what we're eating.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy because I grew up I was born in 92, and I think that do you remember the food pyramid?
Yeah, there was like bread at the top, was like, or the bottom was like the biggest one.
Right. As I just talked about that with my mom the other day. Because my mom,
I don't think they've even changed that.
I don't know.
Like
I think they did change it. I just don't think that they put it in schools and shit anymore. Yeah. Because it's not in my kid's school. But my mom lived by that, and it was like it was like, there's like a lot of fucking Lucky Charms and Cinnamon Toast Crunch and toast.
Well, it has B vitamins in it. So
does it?
It's healthy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's a healthy breakfast food.
Which one?
I think that's how they market it. Like all the super sugary cereals. Like on the front, it says something like
whole grain.
Yeah. B vitamins or
For sure.
Great source of protein. There's like 3 grams of protein.
It's so funny talking about being on a diet when I used to smoke crack.
Yeah. You have
so
to have seen the
crazy,
guy.
you know?
I can't remember his name on Instagram, but he's the guy that's like, I don't give a fuck if they're saying this has red dyes.
Yeah, I post him all the time. He was like, I used to smoke crack in my grandma's basement. And I was like, that's
The first
my
time
guy.
I saw it, I was like, yep.
Yeah. I'm not an advocate for crack, but
I mean, he isn't either anymore, but
it's pretty fun. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty tight.
dude,
No,
crack was never my thing. I
Yeah.
definitely was into uppers though.
did you like coke?
I did a lot of coke, and
If you like coke, you'd love crack.
I did crack a couple of times.
Okay,
I smoked
didn't love
crack
it.
with my friends and
Yeah.
crystal meth and everything
Yeah.
else that would get me that.
Yeah.
But for me, the crack gave me a little bit of like a little bit too much of like, oh, he's looking in the window, like kind of
Oh,
like
man, the paranoia.
always looking over my shoulder, like fuck.
Yeah. So I've been sober 11 years. I haven't lost the paranoia. Yeah. Still look out I got cameras in every like fucking, yeah. It's just like, I know what your license plate is. I know what John had for breakfast, you know? Oh, so Hunter Biden's son talked about smoking crack. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Hunter Biden's son.
There's like a food pyramid, but for drugs, like Hunter Biden style. Crack is something like
Yeah,
number
he's
one.
like, dude, he's like, really? And it's really, he hit it on the head. It's like every 30 seconds you're hitting that fucking pipe, dude. It's like, he might have gotten more people hooked on crack than ever before. He made it sound so tight, dude. You know? I wonder if we can put the clip in Hunter Biden talking about fucking smoking crack.
Yeah, you should find
yeah.
that.
This is not a partisan issue either, but
America.
yeah. Yeah. What's crazy is there's a lot of guys that I know that do hard drugs like that and go to the gym and get fucking go work out, which is like, because all I wanted to do was go for walks. You know, I don't know. So, you know.
Yeah, they were not really synonymous for me at the time. But drinking definitely lingered for a while. That was one I kind of hung on to. And on the weekends, like in the beginning of my fitness journey, I was still like doing lines on the weekends and
you
just
were
like kind of delusional about it. It took me a little bit to like fully transition out of that.
Does that impact your body's ability to
Absolutely
produce muscle, things like that?
Absolutely.
It does. I'm sure it does.
One drink diminishes your body's ability to recover and create new tissue by 46%. So like if you go to the gym and you get a killer workout in, you're there for 2 hours and you go have a beer after that, like you just wasted most of your workout, like half of your workout.
Yeah.
It takes about 2 weeks for your body to completely come out of that as well. Terrible for your liver. Everything goes kind of into like protection mode when you consume an alcoholic beverage.
Right.
It goes, your liver starts to go into overdrive. Your liver is super important for everything in your body. It kind of is like your filtration system for your body. So when you put poison in your body, alcohol, your liver has to focus all of its efforts on that. It can't focus on creating stomach bile, which is going to help remove all the toxins from your body. Everything else kind of goes into freeze. And so you're kind of paralyzing your system from making forward momentum in any way. One drink.
Is there any of these diets that you advise against? Some of the ones that are common now are, you know, I have a lot of boys that take tests and fucking love the carnivore diet, those kind of things. I don't know anything about them. I know my body's in ketosis because it has to be, because it's part of the cure to the symptom of what I have, and it works for me. And but I know it's not great for your heart, you know. And
so what that carnivore diet does is it eliminates for a period of time all of the fermentable fibers and starches in your diet. So that's like sugars, any kind of fiber that comes from vegetables, any kind of really anything that, again, it can be fermentable. So a lot of times the first step is clearing that out, getting rid of the bacteria. That way you can actually create a new environment where the healthy bacteria can thrive. So in a lot of cases, that can really change people's lives. The gut is super important. Like I said, the liver is super important. They're all kind of related. If you have a lot of excess circulating hormones and toxins, and your liver's not functioning properly and your gut's not functioning properly, you end up with like this circulation of things that are never clearing out of your system. And then when you have those bacterial overgrowths, when you eat anything at all, you're going to have crazy systemic response. You're not bloating.
Yeah.
It's just going to be super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that can be a really, really helpful tool for people who are struggling with their gut or their digestion.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of implications for it in the cancer communities and people with seizures even. They're finding that these ketogenic diets, like truly ketogenic diets, are really beneficial for certain people. Alzheimer's, things like that even.
Even cancer cells, I hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't like completely rule those things out. That's going to be super individual based on people. But most people would benefit from just getting rid of things that come in packages that are, processed.
Yeah.
And sticking to more single foods that are grown from the earth.
Something that I think is unique to you, which is why I think you are such a great influencer, whether you understand that, whether you know that you're that or not, you are. And it's like, I don't want to go listen to a motivational speaker who's never struggled in their life. I don't want to, if I'm going to go see a personal trainer, I don't want somebody that's been jacked their entire life. I want somebody that knows what it's like to not be healthy too, because that has a profound impact, on how you deal with that.
Right?
So it's relatable. It's, I think that you'd have more nuance than somebody that didn't have that wisdom before. It's like, I don't know, because food is a disease, man. Food's an addiction.
It is 100%. And the people who are creating the food know that. There's food scientists who are developing food specifically to target centers in your brain to keep you addicted to eating it. 100%. And if you don't think so, you are fooling yourself. Yeah. They know. They know that you can't have just one Lay's potato chip. There's a reason for that. They developed the texture. They developed the saltiness, the sweetness, everything. Yeah. This is like a science. So it is an industry. Anything that can make money is going to become tainted and corrupted.
Lay's potato chips is the crack cocaine of the potato chip world.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Sure. They are good. I agree with you. There's actually like inside the bodybuilding community, I think there's a lot of people who would agree that like you want to take advice from the person who had to beat their genetics, who came from like nothing, from the skinny guy that's now like 300 pounds.
Right.
That's the guy you want to listen to because he's had to navigate some shit to get there. Right. Like he knows what he's doing versus the person that was like always genetically gifted, came from an athletic background, did their first show, had to diet for 3 weeks and won the show. Like, not that that discounts anything that they've done, but just to kind of mirror what you're saying. I think, through that adversity creates that respect almost for the grind, for what people have gone through and how much they've had to learn and how much they've had to put themselves through the trial and error.
That's real. That's so real. Do you have any advice to kind of wrap it up for man, woman that might be thinking about starting a regimen?
Yeah. The fuck are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Time is not slowing down.
And it won't hurt you. It's only going to make your life better. Yeah.
If you want to do anything, if you've like had a thought that you want to do something different with your life, if you are drinking, if you are struggling with your relationship with food, if you're in a relationship that sucks, if you hate your job, if you don't like where you live, if you don't like how you look, anything, you are not stuck there. Like, just do the thing. Do the thing. Don't let fear or your past behaviors or the whatever narrative you're telling yourself that's keeping you in that cycle keep you stuck. Just move forward with it. Just do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. That's so real. Yeah. And it opens so many other doors too, just having a niche opens doors, period.
Yeah.
And that's a positive thing,
And obviously there's people out there like yourself that are actively putting themselves out there to offer help because they've been through it.
Yeah.
Same with myself. Like, reach out. I guarantee I've probably been through something similar to what you're going through.
There you go.
But you have to get out of your own way at the
Or
end of
you
the
know
day.
somebody probably too. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I know a person.
I know a guy.
Yeah, that can help you with that. You know, that's real. That's so real. And you're on social media at Fit Junkee, right?
Yeah,
On
so
everything, right?
fit.junkee, spelled Junkee. That's
Got
me.
it. Right on her hat there. Yeah.
Junkie.
I really appreciate you coming on. I'd love to have you back on too.
Yeah.
If you're in Reno,
I would love that.
Let's just come bullshit with us.
It's been such an
What do you think of
honor.
this?
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I really appreciate you guys taking
Yeah.
the time and obviously spending the energy here with me. And I've loved this conversation.
Yeah, we don't have a motive or a goal or an agenda when people come on. There's no notes or script. We just talk to cool people. And
yeah, I absolutely love that. This whole movement, this whole idea is so cool to me because I'm a really big believer in energy and frequencies. And I think we do have like some type of collective consciousness. So just by us sitting here and doing this and having this conversation, like it is going to attract some other people who probably need to hear it. So I've like the ultimate respect for what you're doing in this project. So
yeah, I think what we do, our goal is if we can help one person get sober, one person get healthier, then our rent is paid. Because it doesn't cost us anything, you know? So it's our rent gets paid just by doing one nice thing. And we also get another day sober in recovery, feeling better about ourselves, you know? And John is on tren, testosterone, steroids, and fucking, you know, we just got to keep him leveled. Just kidding. Are you on those things? Just T. Okay. Yeah. You look bigger. Ask. Yeah.
You probably feel better too.
Yeah. Does that make your hair go bald? Let me see your hairline. You look great. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. All my guys are on that shit. Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you.
Actually, most men can probably benefit from
I'm sure.
a little testosterone.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for these guys being on here too. So we'll see you next time. Thank you.